Now I know for
6%.
habitats
Wow.
you can get away with, yeah, so pretty low there. And no word on the gas mixture for that one. But I know for humans as well, gas mixture becomes a very big issue. So one of the lowest I've ever seen is roughly 20% of atmospheric pressure in 100% oxygen to give you essentially your expected 20 kilopascals of O2 availability. So there are definitely issues that come with this, and pre-breathing is required, but it's definitely an option that they have used in the past. A lot of the colony designs I've seen operate more in the 1/3 to 50% of traditional atmospheric pressure, with 20 kilopascals of that being O2 obligatory.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I was wondering about that. I sounds like I was close, not really spot on.
It's pretty low. It's impressively low to the point where I would never want to experience it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a hard pass. Yeah, yeah, that's
I had the simplest, most basic physical question at the end there on the Agora. You said the Agora comes with the solar panels all packed in the boxes.
yeah.
Don't you need some coir or some kind of other matrix loaded in those boxes, for when they arrive too? I mean,
Yeah, they come in bales that they're really tight, really tight bales. So
oh,
one,
okay.
one yeah, no, great question though. No, you picked right up on that one. I didn't actually mention that, but it's per cell. It's generally 1 to 2 bales, and then we're thinking about like if you've got 10 cells just in the box, and then you just pull them out one at a time, and then there's a racking system, and just pop them on, and then just pop them on. So all the rack, all the everything you need for each box will be within that particular box, and then you pop it all out and just put a bunch of bolts together and just then click. Solar panels are so nice these days. It's really easy. We've got probably about a megawatt and a half under our belts for groundhog solar right now. So there's all different ways of doing it, and the newest design we've got for the boxes it's in the plans right now, and it's the one that is designed to go in the Agora, where we will be able to then, Dr. Rich Flarand, Groundhog Solar head person and designer, we'll be able to put, all right, Colin, I need a racking here and a racking here, and then blah, 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 and then Shane will cat it all out. Shane, actually, Shane is our lead design guy with Eco Islands. He also runs Journeyman Products. He was the one who had done the Agora pictures there, and then he CADs it all out, and then we just wait until somebody orders one and we build them. And we figure we can do them for probably about $400K. I mean, they're really not that expensive, especially since we've got full vertical integration on the boxes and we can build our own boxes now. That's been huge because we've brought the prices down by like 50%, somewhere around there. And still, don't worry, we're getting what we need. Being able to take that on for ourselves has been a huge change in business model, let alone the speed at which we can do our R&D. Because now I can start building these methane digesters that I've been talking about. But, if we send them off to somebody else, they'd charge us $14,000 to $20,000. I can do it a hell of a lot cheaper for ourselves, and it's all out of recycled plastic. So that just being able to move that along a lot faster is just what we're really excited about, because then we can use this as fun settling space and other projects that we want to do because they're fun to do. That's a big perk about joining settling space, is like just find a project, whatever you heart, and then as we move things along, everybody be able to just be involved in just what they kind of want to do, but it's all within the habitat kind of idea. It's all biodomes, it's all ISRU, it's all agriculture, it's all the civilian habs. So everything we're doing is still, whether it's space toilets or biocompost compost boxes, or some of the other projects that we actively are working on right now, it's all still generally related to space hab stuff. So that's kind of our catch-all. Anything within there, have at it. We'll be right there behind you. What do you need? That's the way we look at it.
Well, and so for projects outside of that realm too, we're definitely here to offer support.
Well, now on an interesting little parallel track, just as a news item that might interest you guys, I think it was the New York Times that had an article or an opinion piece of how Afghanistan opium farming convinced me that solar is inevitable. And it was a quick little piece about how the Helmand province is exploding with its opiate production and its farmland usage, as what's happened is that for about $3,000, the local farmer can get himself a set of solar panels and an electric pump and be able to hook that up to a well that then suddenly gives them a source of water in very dry Afghanistan. And they even had some satellite images showing how the farming has expanded as people are moving into the outlying regions away from the river that's left in the Helmand province. And in fact, how the soil is improving over time as they're being more enriched and more processed as people are moving into, dry desert soils that they're now revitalizing. Now that doesn't come without inherent problems. They said that at the rate in an unregulated situation like this, that people are pumping out the aquifer, they've seen a 3-meter drop. Is it, or is it was it a 9-meter drop? But anyway, it was just a great little piece saying the power of solar panels is absolutely revolutionizing farming in Afghanistan, partly because of the opiate cash crop that cycles back into being able to do this build out. My last little reflection on that is, this is what a bunch of boobs our leadership was, because if we'd have championed something like that, as we were ignoring the opium poppy fields anyway, we would have been the heroes for technological innovation, and yet they simply did it themselves after they mostly carted our ass out of there. So, but that's a political thing. That's completely apart from this very interesting article about what is, in fact, a small HAB project in the hostile environment of Helmand province, based on solar panels and an aquifer. So it's clearly not nearly as challenging as Mars, but I thought I'd bring it up just because you might not have seen it go by.
I had not seen that. I know that NRCS, or Natural Resources and Conservation Service, as part of the USDA, they send their people out. That's one of their things. They'll go out with different groups. And I know Rob Clato, which is a local guy here through the Blair County Conservation District and the Pennsylvania, it's still federal, but he had gone to, I think it was Afghanistan, and trying to teach what he could to, as far as soil and resource conservation service stuff, to the locals. And he made it back safe and sound. But I wish
it's a big thing in civil engineering. So a civil engineer that I was just very close with in high school, because he worked with our Science Olympiad team, it worked primarily in Puerto Rico doing just sewage remediation systems, because the infrastructure was not there. And I definitely agree with you, though, that is one of the biggest things that I feel like we have to offer here as a group, and more just the US in general, that there is quite a bit of technological capability that seems just so everyday and so built into just to us, because we're used to what it provides and the level of resource that it makes available, but that is exportable to the world at large and not just space. And so that's definitely something we're trying to focus on and recognize what pieces of technology specifically fall into that realm. And so desalination is one that I know all of us have kept an eye on, just for that same idea, that it's a great way to integrate water. But I mean, a number of other projects like the permacyclers and greening the desert, all of these are related to water capture on Earth as well, but will benefit space development and resource utilization.
If you got a half a second for a funny story along the same line, Jimmy Carter, after he got out of the presidency, caused a social revolution in Ethiopia. Now, it's a little more low tech than you might think, and it's not necessarily germane to water per se, but the quick story is that there was a particular fly in the area that was laying, I don't know if it was a screwworm fly or some other sort of really terrible fly that was one of the plagues of the local area. And when they checked it out, they realized that Ethiopia was a habitable area that had been so thoroughly humanized that the fly was living on human excrement. There was no animal excrement around. I mean, it was all just the standard farmer going out behind the bush. And this was this whole fly's life cycle. And so they had a simple innovation that, like you say, really old-fashioned built-out tech that seems common to us, that would seem phenomenal to think they never imagined doing in Ethiopia only 15 years ago, and it was the latrine. They had never had latrines. They had never conceived of latrines. And the result was that they got people into latrines. And here's the fun part of the story. You know, it's a highly Islamic country with a very conservative traditional sort of situation, and women are sequestered. And one of the problems women had faced, unlike their farmer counterparts who were just letting it go behind a bush out at the edge of the field, they had to hold it all day because it'd be terribly embarrassing to the family in this very conservative society to have anybody see some woman letting it flap in the wind, you know, while she's doing a squat or whatever. So when they put up these latrines and then they, you know, put out you know, cloths and sheets and everything else, suddenly the women had access to lavatory functions during the daytime, which they'd been denied traditionally for everybody's lifetime for generations. And it made it such a phenomenon that it caught on across all of Ethiopia. And the latrine only 15 years ago became the biggest rage in the country. Everybody was building them, everybody was decorating them, and when you went to visit somebody's place, they would show you their beautiful new latrine because it was the coolest new thing they ever had. So I thought that was just a hilarious story of how Jimmy Carter's little foundation trying to fight a fly infestation that had some medicinal or animal husbandry impacts discovered that human shit was the life cycle, came up with a latrine, which was such an obvious thing that you couldn't imagine. They never thought of it there. And then suddenly it became the social phenomenon for the whole country and caught on like wildfire.
Well, yeah, it is a great story, and it reminds me so much of the guinea worm infestation, where life straws. It's such a simple thing, and like
Yep.
everybody I know has a life straw, but
And that literally is also another Carter Foundation activity. That's one of their other strong suits. And they've almost eliminated it. When they finally get that, it will be like polio disappearing from the world, except that unlike the idea that somebody's got it in a freezer or somebody has it in a bio thing they're hoping to terrorize the world with, like Russia might be hiding some or something, no one's going to save the guinea worm when it's gone.
Yeah, I think it's going to beat polio too. So it's looking like the guinea worm is going to beat polio in terms of eradication.
Yes, it does.
Which is exciting. Another one down. And so I know Mike jumped on here. I would just wanted to check if you or Dan had any other questions if you guys wanted to talk about too.
I'm good. I actually just sent to Kim and Mario an email saying hello and thank you very much for joining. And they both would like to get onto the list. So I've already got some of my homework done already. And if there are any other questions, I guess we're probably wrapped up for the bioreactors right now. Are there any other questions in general? We're going on about an hour and a half now, and that's usually pretty good time to wrap. Anybody else? Dan, haven't heard much from you tonight. How you feeling, bud? He might be playing with the kids right now.
True.
Yeah.
Well, and so on Sunday we'll do more of a just review of a lot of our active projects that are going on right now, and just kind of touch base on what we need as far as our team goes to get done in the next coming week, and just kind of some areas of opportunity. All right, and so this video will be going up on YouTube. It may be a while before it ends up on there. We're kind of scheduling releases right now, and it could be within the next month or so.
1 to 2 weeks.
Well, so it'll be ready in 1 to 2 weeks, but we'll see about what the actual release timing is.
Got it. Cool. So
that being said,
actually, real quick,
yeah.
Kim had asked me privately here, is this a regular event? And sorry about tuning in late. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, if you're still working, I'm assuming West Coast there. Great to have you on board. Thank you very much. And yes, these will be regular events. And for those who are interested in joining Settling Space, send us a Vita. We like to keep it a pretty heady group if we can. That's we want everybody, whatever your skill set is. I don't care if it's accounting, plant science, wetland ecology, running a wet lab, or if you're the world's best damn mechanic. We want and need all of those. So multiple skill sets, especially marketing. Somebody who really knows finance. We got a lot of openings, pretty much just because we're a think tank and we're taking all comers. And if you got something that this is something you want to be involved in, let us know. Like I said, we're open enrollment. There's no money changing hands. at this time. Eventually, yeah, we'd like to be for profit. So that's the way we're pushing for.
And so
So
in two
Kim, yeah.
weeks we'll have our next presentation. So the next webinar is going to be on the 2818 entry that I mentioned earlier that I submitted for the Mars Society's 1,000 person colony design. So this will be a briefing of the Bubbleack colony and the systems involved therein. So we'll post more information about that on Facebook and Meetup, but just to go through some of the areas where you can find us at Settling Space. So we're on Twitter and Meetup right now at Settling Space. We also have started our Patreon, so look for some posting there on information similar to our webinars today, and we'll have links to our webinars listed there. But you can also go there for just more in-depth blog posts on the technology that we'll be talking about throughout these webinars. All right, and beyond that, we will be sticking with the colonization series, but we'll be getting closer to the Mars Society's annual conference. So after our next chat, look for some more updates there for the pending schedule. Okay, and unless there are any last minute questions here, yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap us up there for today. I wanna thank everyone for attending this webinar on self-organizing wetland bioreactors. I wanna thank Colin again for all the help in setting this up, advertising, going through this presentation, and just everything to do with the Mars Society here.
Dude, thank you. It's so nice to have other people working on this. It's tough to do it by yourself. The motivation is hard to keep up when you're alone.
Yeah, well, and this is still early days for this group, so I am excited to see where we move on from here.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
So one last note. Yeah, one last note, if anyone is a National Space Society member, so I believe you need a membership to the NSS in order to attend, but I will also be presenting later tonight in an hour here at the NSS Town Hall on long duration spaceflight, diet for that specifically. So tune into that, but that will also be posted online in a few weeks.
Excellent, and please talk to Dr. Hughes then if she's interested in joining.
Yes.
Wow. What a skill set. They're you know, nutritional something or other.
Yes.
She
So
really
for a
sounds
bit
like
more
somebody would be
information.
great for this.
Yeah. So the so I was runner up in the long duration space flight diet contest, to be clear here, and so Alex was our first place winner, and she is a PhD candidate at I do not remember. I believe it is Oxford, but is specifically studying diet for astronauts and has been published already on the use of the ketogenic diet in endurance athletes, and is actively studying space nutrition. So it'll be a great presentation, great conversation.
Get her on board, man. Get her on board.
Yeah,
we need that. Cool.
Indeed.
That's everything from me, from my end.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming today, and we hope to chat with you all a bit later this week.
Cool. Stelly, thank you very much for hosting, man. Appreciate it. Everybody, Phil, I'll talk to you real soon here. Dan, say hi to the kids. Mario, Kim, thank you very much for your time. Please come back. If you got thoughts, love to hear them. Like I said, if you want to join up, open enrollment, please. Yep, saw that, Dan. Yeah, thanks, bud.
Yeah. Thanks for the nice talk.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay, signing off here. And what? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cheers, all.
Oh.